I'll step up and down.
We can
With it. Hey everybody, what's up YouTube? What's up Facebook? Welcome to another Shift event here. We're at Eagle Realty in North Myrtle Beach, and we have special guest Kevin Hoover with us, who's going to be teaching us just a lot of stuff. Yeah, you're going to be a better person for listening to this podcast. So make sure if you have any comments or you want to share this, it'd be awesome. And did I introduce myself? My name is Chris Ward. I think I did introduce myself. But if you, let's see, what I was going to say. This is number 8 in our shift series. So we do this monthly. Usually we try to do it at the end of each month. So definitely go ahead and mark your calendar because we will be doing it again September, I think it's 28th. Next one is September 28th is our next shift event here. But I'm going to let Kevin take over here and teach us here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, business, branding, sales, ever-changing world, right? It's really tough. I get into a lot of debates about what works, what doesn't work, how we should be doing business, what's the next shiny object. Truth of the matter is, everything works. No matter what your style is, everything works. We spend a lot of energy wondering if it's cold calling, is it Facebook ads, is it knocking on doors, is it networking? What works? Everything works. So once you understand that, then you can really dive a little deeper and find out, spending your time on what works for you. I find a lot of my clients just shift a little bit and they find great success in small shifts. And so just by finding what works for you, I'll give you an example. In real estate especially, we have the word prospecting. Generates all kinds of feelings for ourselves, some good, some bad. But when we shift that word and you say connections, you say go prospect for an hour or go connect for an hour, those mean two different things. And so those little shifts in business both work and they're both the same activities. And that's really what we're talking about today. So I've got my notes. I want to make sure I stay on track with this. And here's the biggest mistake in business that we make, especially from a real estate standpoint, mortgage industry, insurance, no matter what it is. The biggest mistake that we make in business is that we think we're in the real estate business. And we very much are not. The business that we're actually in is we're in the human attraction and human resource business. And that has a lot of layers to it. And we get so caught up on being experts in real estate and shying away from being expert in human attraction and human resource, right? So the contention is, well, how do we grow our business? How do we add value? How do we do all the things that still make a living? And there's a lot of ways to do that, and you have to start by understanding marketing, branding, and advertising. And if you will write down, if you're watching this on live stream, if you're here, think in your head, marketing, branding, and advertising. I want you to rate them 1, 2, and 3, 1 being the most important, and 3 being the least important as far as what you're going to use to grow your business. So I've done a lot of work in this field, and to understand how to build a human-based business, a human resource, human attraction business, you really have to understand these 3 things. I'm not a very complex man. I'm a very simple person. So I'm going to give you my 2-minute rundown of marketing, branding, and advertising. So I've got a lot of friends that are very high up in marketing, branding, and advertising space across the country. And so I call on them quite often to help clarify and to help me wrap my brain around. So let's start with marketing. Marketing is the big umbrella. Branding and advertising are part of marketing. We can't throw public relations in there. We're going to skip that for today. So marketing is the big umbrella. Now, essentially, what is marketing? Marketing is saying the right thing to the right person at the right time. I'm even simpler than that. I operate on a much more simple level. So here's what marketing is. I'm awesome. I know. Right? That's marketing. You're saying the right thing to the right person at the right time. So if you look at what that means to our business and how we do that, that's what we all strive for. We try to niche down. We try to find our audience. We try to have the right message and all of that. So that's marketing. Advertising, a little different. Advertising involves a third party. And I'll just give you my quick awesome analogy. Advertising is, I'm awesome, 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 I'm awesome. It's incorporating someone else to tell someone how great you are, repeat it over and over and over. It's the billboard, it's the TV commercial, it's the radio spot. It is not social media. So that's advertising. Now we get down into branding, and branding is really something I'm focused on lately, and I believe that branding is a very special thing that most people do not understand. And this is where the human element comes in. Branding is essentially someone looking at you and going, you're awesome. So as we reverse engineer that and we go back to our list of what we prioritize, advertising, marketing, and branding as being the most important, which one of those now that we have an understanding about it, or a better understanding, or maybe a different understanding about it, which one becomes more important? If you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in real estate, mortgage, insurance, whatever it is, someone else saying you're awesome is a lot heavier than you walking around saying, I'm awesome, I'm awesome, I'm awesome. And for me, that is where branding becomes so vitally important in building human-based business. Because it is not employing someone else, it is not hiring someone else, it is not asking someone else, it is just genuinely showing someone else, another human, that you care and you're gonna provide value to them. So as I went through this whole process of how that happens, and a lot of us, work, as myself included, work for bigger companies, bigger brokerages, maybe there's, a parent company out there or a partnership or whatever. How do we build a personal brand that supports a bigger company? And if you look at it like this, your personal brand will push the bigger brand. So if you're in a real estate company, the real estate brand will have its set of core values, its set of branding. It will be ethics, it will be integrity, it will be big words like that. It'll be honesty, all of those big words that a big brand holds. That's the brokerage. And then when you boil it down and you get down to the agent or the salesperson or the professional level, the keywords that come into branding are punctual, expert, right? Those are things the brokerage can't give you. They can't convey that in each agent because let's face it, you all know, not every agent is an expert. Sure, you have some run-ins with some agents who are very much not experts, but those are ways that you can use branding. So I say that to get back into how do we use that to create this human-based business that doesn't feel icky, it doesn't feel salesy, it does not like you're pushing it. Whereas does anybody have a friend on Facebook right now trying to sell nutrition shakes? Or yeah, or how about anything else, So we all have those people on Facebook trying to do that. And what I find really interesting is that real estate agents are the first people to say, that's gross. And then they say, buy my listing. And it's the same thing. Right? It's not selling a human base. So what is a human-based business? And here's the contention. Russell Brunson writes about this in Expert Secrets. If you haven't read Expert Secrets, get the book, read it 2 times, right? Here's what I like about it. He says that really, if you want to take a sales business, the best way to do that is to put on the front end of that an information business. And that's what we try to do. And this is the human resource part of what we're talking about. So put an information business on the front of that, meaning add value, tell people, give people the goods. I'm going to say the Z word. Hope you're okay with that. Zillow. There, we did it. Okay, relax. Right? The reason Zillow is winning or they're doing what they're doing is because they gave people what they wanted. They gave people information they wanted, which is access to MLS years ago. So if you put information on front, no matter if you own a gym company, no matter if you're in a mortgage business, no matter if you're in insurance or real estate or sales or whatever it is, if you put the information on the front end of your actual sales, you have that resource mentality that you're actually helping people, you're adding value. And people throw around the add value all the time, and no one really understands, like, what is add value? Add value, add value. Here, buy my listing, add value. Buy my other listing, add value. Buy my other listing. It's not really adding value. But if you go into a situation where you're actually conveying information on the front end and giving all the good stuff on the front before you get into the buy my makeup pitch or buy my shake pitch or buy my house pitch, you've already created this value as far as them valuing your business and valuing you as a person. So I find that to be really interesting that that's the process that we skip. We go straight to sales, we skip the information piece, we skip the add value piece, and that's the resource part. Not human resource like you're managing complaints and things like that. You're being a resource for other people to come to you, and that establishes you as the expert, right? So now let's talk about the attraction piece. Now, Chris does a fantastic job of this. And this is what we all try to do, is we want to attract people into us, into what we do. We want people to ask us, how do I get in touch with you? How do I get near you? How do I become part of your business, part of your world, part of your culture? And that's what we want, but we fail to do it because we focus on the wrong things. You've heard Simon Sinek talk about the what, why, and how of sales. And the reason that we're not attracting people is because we focus on the what. We focus on what we sell, what we do. I'm in real estate, I sell a house, buy, buy, buy. That's what we focus on. The attraction piece comes in the how and the why. So when you want to attract someone into your business, if you own a series of gyms and you're pushing fitness, people know what you do. What they care about is how you do it. how you do things, does it match what I'm looking for? And so that is the other human element layer of attraction. People are attracted to things because of how you do it, not what you do. So if you look at that model of and lately the why is the big thing. I'm a business coach, so everyone wants to, I just have to get to my why. And I think that's great, you do, but that's not what people are attracted to, right? I'm a dad and a husband first and foremost, and so when I talk about my business, my son and my wife are very much a part of that, but that's just a layer of what I do. How I coach, how I do real estate, how I do all my business, how I teach people about business, that is what people are more concerned with. So as you're going through Facebook, no matter what it is you're selling and you're posting something, you have to think, is this showing how or is it showing what? And I see, especially in real estate, agents time after time again are posting, here's my new listing, here's my new listing, here's my other new listing, here's my other new listing, here's me buying a milkshake, here's me buying my pumpkin spice latte, here's my other listing, here's my, and so what you want to do is focus on the house. So I'll give you an example. If you have an open house and you're just saying, I have an open house on Saturday, it's 12 to 3, yay me. But if you go into that open house and you do a live video and you say, what's very important when you're selling property and you're doing things is the kitchen. The kitchen is very important. It's almost the heartbeat of the house. Let me show you this kitchen, what they've done great. Look at this. They've really updated, they've done, and so you're showing that how people are selling real estate, how you interact, what you do in the listing. So consider that as well. Going back to my notes. So this is an interesting fact. So as we build brands, I'm going to get these numbers right so that make sure they add up to 100. As we build brands, the breakdown of what you spend your time on is very important. And a lot of people get this wrong. And I have a contingency about commitment, belief, and results. I'll share that with you. That people start by seeing results, then they commit, and then they believe. And it's the exact opposite. You believe, you commit, and you get results. So it's the same thing with building your brand. When you build your brand, 39% of building your brand is in planning. Meaning you're actually being intentional. You're thinking about your core values. You're thinking about what you bring to the table, the value you add to people. 3% is evaluation, meaning you do something and then you say, did that work? Did that not work? How did I feel? How did they feel? What's the return on my investment, be it time, money, or otherwise? And then 58% is execution, meaning you're trying stuff. You're doing stuff. You don't know what works. I'm working with a group of people now, and we're trying to formulate what success really is on various levels. One of the things we found is that skill set, time on task, and experimentation are core components for success. So that all goes into this human-based element. People are afraid to try stuff for one reason. Why do you think people are afraid to try stuff? Fear of failure. They don't want to be judged. People are so afraid of starting. They're so afraid of being seen as small. They're so afraid of being seen as this. When the reality is, all the big guys, all Amazon, Bezos started out trying stuff, failing, trying stuff, implementing. So, brings us back to a point of how do we build our brand on the human base that creates attraction, that creates resource? How do we do that? Because that's what I really want. I don't like just giving theory. So when you leave here, these are things you can do now to build your brand even stronger, or create a brand, or maybe you haven't thought about it. Everybody has a brand, you just haven't thought about it, been intentional about it. One, be the expert. And when I say be the expert, I don't mean tell anybody you're an expert. Don't ever say I'm an expert, ever. What do you do when I say I'm an expert? What do you do? I mean, we live in a very weird world right now, right? So if I walk in and I say, hey, I'm an expert, you're like, prove it. Right? So the psychology behind it goes back to, I'm an expert, and the person that you say that to says, prove it. Big shot. Bet you're not. So don't ever say that. Expertise is shown through action. It is shown through what you do. And you do that over and over and over again, and all of a sudden you become associated as an expert, as the resource. Be consistent. Chris is probably the best example, and I love the brand that Chris has built, and I love that he continues to grow it. He's probably the best example of consistency of anyone I know locally. And I say that because he did not stop. What are you up to, like 80 episodes now?
71 sometimes a day.
71 episodes on the blog. Most people would have stopped at 10 when they didn't get 14 deals or 90,000 likes or 50 million views. But consistency is what builds the brand. And he's a living proof of that. You have to get personal. You have to get personal. What does that mean? It means you're not just pushing your wares. You're not just saying, here, it's why. We talked about this earlier, Chris and I did. Success has a lot of different definitions. around this room, around the live stream, there's different definitions of success. Get personal. Why do you need to move? Why do you need insurance? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want a couch? Get personal. That couch may be a little extreme. But you see the point. Here's the big one that people miss: being empathetic. This is the human layer. It really is. Being empathetic. Someone's going through a tough time. This is where the scripts don't work. I'm a big fan of sales. I'm not a big fan of scripts. This is where the scripts don't work. Being empathetic to people in their situation. I'm so sorry that happened to you. How can I help? That's different than, oh, bummer, it's on here. It's different. It's brand building. What do you think that person does if I'm empathetic to their situation and I try to help them? I come from a place of sincerity. Marketing plan. Now, I know this goes against it, but let's talk about marketing plan. People think marketing plan, they go, oh, it's just way too hard. No. Marketing plan can be a sticky note with 5 points on it. And then consistent in those points. That can be your marketing plan. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet with a graph. We're going to need a table over here. This has to bounce to this other sheet. Someone else has to come in and fill that out because I don't know it. That doesn't have to be that way. Marketing plan can be 5 points. My marketing plan is on a whiteboard and it changes a lot, but it's just stuff that I'm trying to put myself out there. This is the biggest one. If you take nothing else away from how to build a brand on a human level, how to build a brand and how to create a human-based business, this is the one thing to take away. Be a connector. Be a connector. Meaning you connect people with no expectation of a return. I need a painter. I got a guy for you. He's got a great company. Here's his number. Go. I need an attorney. You know what? I know what you're thinking about attorneys. You're probably thinking the same thing about attorneys you think about real estate agents, but she is fantastic. Right? Be a connector. That sends a ripple effect through the community, through the business, through your client base, as to your brand. So that is probably the most important piece you can do. Be a connector for people with no expectation of return. Big word now, authentic. Oh, why do we struggle with this so much? Why do we struggle with this so much? The number one reason that people have problems selling and things like that is because of social acceptance. And so we cater ourselves to what we think other people might think, right? And instead of sitting in our true selves, I wear Chuck Taylors. I'm okay with that. She's checking to see if I got Chuck Taylors. I almost didn't. I can't say that. But I wear Chuck Taylors a lot. I don't wear them every day. But and that's part of me. Now I show up, try to be clean, try to be professional. I have a 3-year-old, so clean is not always easy. But I do show up a certain way. And being authentic to myself is important. Everyone has their own thing and their own taste and their own style. And being authentic in that is very important to building your brand because that is what is the easiest to do. You don't have to think about it, and it becomes something that people remember. I wrote a book called I'll Never Wear a Suit Again. It's a little book. It's not a book. It's a paper. It's barely a report. But the principle behind that was I'm trying to be true to myself. It doesn't mean I'm not professional. It doesn't mean I don't work hard. It doesn't mean I don't market correctly. But that really became an important piece of attracting the people that are for me. And so when you put that authenticity out there and you're your true self and you put your values and business up first, it attracts people naturally who are like-minded too. It's a hard thing to do because we want every deal. We want all the people. We want all the sales. And when you reverse engineer what you really need, it doesn't have to be that hard. So that's my contention about human-based business through branding and marketing. Things you can do today, let's review. Be an expert, meaning if you don't know something about the neighborhood you're farming in or you're calling in, go right through. Preview every house on the market. Go find out who's buying insurance or who needs a mortgage today. Who's coming to the gym. Find out who they are, what they're about, what do they need, what do they want. Be consistent. That's the big thing too. Be consistent every day. You should do it. Get personal, be empathetic, promote how and why. They know the what. If you sell a realtor, they know what you do. They know what you sell. Show them how. Have a marketing plan, even if it's 2 things. Just have a plan of action. Be a connector. Be you. Be authentic. Those are the keys for human-based business, in my opinion, from where I sit. As we go through this really weird time in business and we're going to grow in technology and all these other things, I believe these should be the foundation of growth in business and growth as just being people. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yeah. Love it.
Anybody has questions? No pressure.
None? I answered all of them.
None? I want to say, you mentioned, I'm going to go way back to the very beginning, when you talked, and you said something about social media is not advertising. Speaking to like content or like you're I'm not talking about like buying ads on social media, or are you talking about is there a bridge there, or how do you distinguish both of those?
Well, the principle of advertising is someone else is delivering the message, and social media, because it's self-owned, meaning I post on my page, my business page, I facilitate, or someone else, assistant, admin, whatever it does. But advertising really is delivered through someone you pay to do that. So Facebook ads kind of are that line.
Okay.
Or that kind of
great content they're putting out in an ad.
Yeah, and you're paying for it, but really what you're talking about is you put a video on your personal page, that's more branding and marketing, and then advertising. If I pay for an ad, then it becomes this, could be advertising, but for what most people use, and most people get into their marketing plan, and social media is the first thing they put on there because it's accessible and it's free. And so if accessible and free are important to you, then you don't need to understand whether it's marketing, branding, or advertising. It doesn't matter. Just putting good content out that is true in what you do is kind of the important piece. So social media, and as social media grows, now there's IGTV, now there's a lot of things going on where social media is kind of morphing into something else, and I suspect that'll change. But yeah, that's a great question, great point, and it takes me a minute to wrap my brain around that sometimes too. So what am I doing? Any other questions? Comments?
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
You gave a breakdown of building brands, 39% planning, 50% evaluation, 50% execution. Before that, you broke something down too, and I missed it. Do you happen to remember what it was?
No. It was genius, though.
That's why we record.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on there. No, I think I was talking about the information piece before that. I don't remember exactly what I wrote.
Yeah, it was like a generic breakdown. It wasn't as specific as that one.
Okay.
But we'll watch it again.
We'll watch it together. We'll learn about my magic. Awesome. Yeah.
The book you referenced, Expert Secrets, who was the author?
Russell Brunson. He is
Brunson?
Brunson, B-R-U-N-S-O-N. He basically talks about how to deliver a message. And the reason I think that's important for real estate agents and anyone in sales is because that's what that's the how. How do you present a story, your story, which is your brand, in an effective way? What he talks about is how to get online, do a video, and engage people correctly. He also breaks down a lot of myths about what sales is. He actually went through this exercise where and he's a very interesting guy, but he went through an exercise where he was like, I wonder if I can make $100,000 in a day with this model. And he did. He was like, interesting. And it wasn't about the money. He was testing the things in the book to see if it worked. And then he said, oh, if I can make $1 million in a day. And he did. And he was like, okay, it works. I'll write a book. So that's why it's important. And it's really, for me, it's a reference. I went through and I underlined some notes, and I go back and reference that book once in a while. So I highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out.
Thank you.
And there's probably a lot of other books like that, but I found that book to be sort of the cornerstone of my growth.
Great.
If you can. Any other questions?
Amen.
No? Good.
Did you
Thank
talk
you.
about your coaching in your book and
A little bit.
what you do?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, really, it's everything's tied together.
Absolutely.
Everything is tied together, and no matter what industry you're in, you can find pieces from every other industry to pull from. But yeah,
Good. I'm sorry I was late. The longest closing ever.
as long as you're bringing them.
10:30.
So anyways, well, thank you guys. If you tuned in on livecast, thank you, or watched the replay. We appreciate it. I appreciate Kevin coming. I appreciate your time. Don't have anything to add to that except amen. That was great. So I hope you learned something, and tune in for next month, September shift. Thanks. And if anybody here has any other questions or want to catch Kevin, I'm sure he'll give it a few minutes of his time.